So in coaching, there is kind of coaching and teaching. Teaching is talking about what you're going to have people do. It's educating people, and it's super important. Coaching is actually making people do things and eliciting change and moving around. Those are not hard set definitions. It's just kind of how I view them and what I'm going to use for terminology here. In a class, you should be spending most of your time coaching and a small percentage of your time teaching. So picking one or two things that you're really going to just educate them on. And oftentimes this can be done while they're actually moving as well. So I want to give an example of something that I see often and a way that it can be more efficient. So I'm going to say it's like a 50-50 of a teach-coach and then more of like an 80-20 of a coach-teach. So more coaching, less teaching. So we're going to take gymnastics complexes that we're doing this month for warm-up and workout, which are these different ones that we move through, and there's a lot of like kind of varied stuff. So this one I wrote behind me on the board, and this is how I'd do it as a coach. I'd write the bullet points on a board so I can glance at it, look back, and get moving into the next progression. Now, this is what I tend to see, and this is like the 50-50 method. So what you'll do is you'll be like, hey, you ready to do some of these gymnastics complexes? I'm Patrick, by the way. It's nice to meet you. You probably should have brought shoes, but at the same time, we're going to be okay. So here's what we've got. We've got a sit-up to pancake. We've got a scap push-up with a shift. We've got a sit-up to pancake, this time now with a plate, and we've got pike overs. Now, what a sit-up to pancake looks like is you're going to sit on the ground here, and you're going to lie down, and then as you sit up, you're going to then reach forward as far as you can. You know, I'm not super flexible, but that's about as much as I got. Okay? Now, as you do this, I want you to keep your legs straight and your toes pointed, and that's going to be our sit-up to pancake. Now, after we do like 10 of those, then we're going to move to the scap push-up and with some shifts. Now, scap push-up, the way the scap push-up looks is you're going to be in this push-up position. You're going to drive into it and arch your back there, and that's the kind of shift up, and then you're going to come back down. So you're just basically doing a push-up without bending your elbows, but through your scap, hence the name scap push-up, right? You like that? It's pretty funny, right? Then we've got a shift as well. So you're going to do the same things, but you'll drive up, and then you'll shift as far to one side as you can, as far to the other side as you can. That's our scap push-up with a shift. Now, we've also got da-da-da, so you get the idea. So what I'm doing is I'm showing her these movements, and then I go, okay, and go. Let's try to sit up to pancake. Sit down. Let's do the sit up to pancake for me. Sit on down.
What was that again?
Sit up to pancake was the first one. So spread your legs. Good. Now you're going to lie back down, watch your head on those dumbbells, and you sit up to. So you basically show them everything, and then you have them go through it. Takes a lot of time, a lot of talking. She oftentimes forgets anything that I gave to her, maybe takes 1 point away. Now stand up. I'll help you, wife. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. The other method, which is more of like the 80-20 coach to teach, is like this. All right, I'm Patrick. It's nice to meet you. We're going to run through the class. It'll be great. You should have brought shoes, but at the same time, I think you'll be okay. Do me a favor. Can you sit on the ground? We're going to get nice and warm. Twist sideways so you're not going to bonk your head on what's over on those dumbbells there. Lightly go ahead and lie on the ground for me on the back. Good. Cool. Why don't you shift forward so you're not going to hit the dumbbells. Spread your legs a little wider. Okay, that's all you got? Well, there, she did it. She did it. I knew she could. Straighten your legs a bit. Point your toes. And then do me a favor and sit up. Use those abs that you have and sit up. Nice. Oh, rock your hands. I believe in you. You got it. Give me a throw. Give me a throw of the hands. There it is. She sits on up. And then reach forward as far as you can. Oh, yeah. Get a little stretch there. Nice. That's a sit up to pancake. Go ahead and give me 8 more of those. Now that could be done with a whole class going through that exact same thing. And I could have, if she failed there, be like, okay, now bend your knees or throw your hands, and I can get her to a place where she's just doing sit-ups. But the point was, I didn't have to show her everything she was doing. I just kind of jumped right into it. Then I would do the exact same thing as we did 9 of those, move into the little next place, go scap push-up. Okay, now do me a favor and kick over and get into a push-up position. Nice, and if you have to, you can drop to your knees if this is a hard position for you to hold. Good. Now in this position, you got a nice hollow body here. I want you to drive into the ground a little bit harder with your shoulders, so push into the ground a bit more. Nice. And then do the opposite of that, keeping your arms straight, drop your chest down. Wow, that is fantastic. Go ahead and give me about 8 more of those. bam, bam. Okay, now this is the shift. In that same position, shift as far one way as you can, far the other way as you can. Good. Now give me about 8 more of those. Again, this can be done in the class with everybody, but there wasn't this huge, long talk through beforehand. It just jumps straight into the coaching. What are the steps? What are the things I can tell them to do that'll just get them moving right away? If you do it the other way, you find that you end up having to do that other thing anyway. You end up having to coach them through it while they're actually doing it anyway, so why not just have them jump right into that? Now, if something really, really needs to be set up, you can totally do that as well. You can say, okay, today the snatch, and then you look at their faces and they're like, snatch, and you go, snatch. This is a thing where you take it from the ground, put it straight up overhead. But there's times where you can brief it, and you just want to try to keep that to a minimum. Just something I'm seeing, just easier ways to navigate a space, and we're going to call that the 80-20 coach to teach method. Trademark. Trademark. It'll also allow you for a lot more personal interactions just because you have more time. Good luck. Woo-wo out.